Hi everybody, this is Maya Good, and this is an update on my writing. I haven't been on here for a while because I've been working furiously, and right now I am near tears. I applied to the VONA Writers Workshop. That's the Voices of Our Nation Arts. It is a huge, extremely competitive writers workshop for writers of color, and I applied for a residency spot to work on Past with David Murrah. I messed up my application and I didn't put a second choice. I meant to and I didn't. But my first choice really was to work with David Murrah. I feel like he could help me take Past to the next level. And um, and so I just got a response back, and I didn't get one of the initial spots, which means I'm not going to get a scholarship to go. But the email had some really wonderful things to say about both my application and my writing sample. And so I've been waitlisted, and most likely it looks like there will be a space for me. But what this means is now I've got to figure out how to raise money to go. So I don't know, I'm gonna have to look at all the different options that are available to me, because I'm going to need to take a train to Miami, and then I'm going to need to be able to pay for room and board, food, as well as the workshop. So I don't know. I'm looking at some grants. I'm going to be applying for an awesome grant. I'm looking at some other writers grants that can be used for multiple workshops. There was a really good grant available, but VONA wasn't listed as one of the workshops that you could use it for. So I'm doing a lot of research on grants right now. I'm also probably going to have to do like a GoFundMe or something. But I'm near tears because I worked really hard on my application, and the story I submitted was a story that I've been working on for a long time. And I'm just really, it's really touching when people who know writing and people that you respect and admire as writers look at your work and have such nice things to say about your writing. It gives you hope. And I think if I go, and in my gut, I feel like I'm going to go. In my gut, I feel like a space is going to open up. It's an expensive workshop, and a lot of times people get in and then they just can't afford to go, or they double book with another workshop or whatever. But to go to VONA is really, I'm not going to cry. To go to VONA is a dream of mine. When I went to the Napa Writers Workshop, I learned so much about writing, and to have that kind of environment, completely surrounded by writers of color, and to be able to work one on one with somebody on my novel, which is something I haven't had an opportunity to do. To just go someplace for a week and work one on one and listen to lectures and just do the work surrounded by a bunch of other people who are doing the work. That's what I need. I know that's what I need to really take Past to the next level. I've been working really hard on Past, and I love the story so much. And I know so many of the people on this channel love that story because they came here from my other channel. And it's a story that has meaning to me, you know. Recently on Literary Roadhouse, we interviewed Karan Bajaj, and that's what he was talking about on the interview with his books. Was one of the first things he did was decide what the work was going to mean. And I feel like Past has that. Remigian Rising has meaning, but it's not as well defined, and that's one of the things I need to work on with that book. But Past has such a significant meaning right down to the title, and to be able to work with somebody and get help and have a little bit more direction, in addition to being surrounded by so many amazing writers of color. It's been a dream of mine to attend this conference ever since I first saw a YouTube video with Juno Diaz talking about writing. I really respect him as a writer. Um, I've read I've read The Brief and Wonderful Life of Oscar Wilde, and I've read a couple of his short stories. And while I his writing isn't perfect for me, it's not necessarily like my favorite writing. It does important stuff. When I read his work, his writing is important. But what really touches me is when I hear him talk about writing, and I hear him talk about how writing has affected his life, and what he thinks of writing, and how he sees writers of color, where we need to be in the world, and our importance. Those are things that really touch me. And when I first saw a YouTube video of him talking, and I did a little research, and I found out that he had started a writer's workshop, I immediately knew that someday I was going to go to that writer's workshop. And it's been a goal of mine, and this is my second year of applying. And last year, I didn't get a spot, and I just got like a form letter saying I wasn't accepted. And so I worked really hard on my application this year, and to get a response that complements my writing and puts me on the wait list is just huge. It's absolutely huge. So stay tuned. There will be an update as far as if a spot opens up, and when I figure out some sort of fundraising situation. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. If anybody out there has had to raise money to attend a workshop, um, how did you do it? Like, what worked for you? If you have any tips, if you know of any grants, can you put them in the down bar? I could really use some advice on this, because if when that spot opens up, I'm going. I don't care if I have to hitchhike there and sleep in my tent on the beach. I'm going. I would like to not have to do that, obviously, but one way or another, I'm getting to VONA. So on that note, ciao.